Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to lecture 18, English literature. The topic is Allama Iqbal. We had already started reading Allama Iqbal. We studied it in our lecture 17 as well. We studied the first 3 paragraphs. Today we will read the last 2 paragraphs. There are 5 paragraphs in this lesson. I'm sorry. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, the lesson is at page 37 in your books. Before we move towards the, you know, towards reading the last paragraphs, let's reread the first 3 paragraphs so that you people recall what we have studied. I'm sorry, I'm admitting children side by side, and that's why I may sound distracted, but please bear with me. So the first paragraph is that Allama Muhammad Iqbal, the poet of the East, was born in Sialkot, a town in the Punjab, on 9th November 1877. He received his early education in his hometown. In 1895, he went to Government College Lahore. He passed his MA in 1899 from the University of the Punjab. In the same year, he was appointed Professor of Arabic at the Oriental College Lahore. He held this job till 1905. In that year, he and for, left for England for higher studies. In London, he received a law degree. In 1908, he was awarded a degree of PhD by Munich University for his work in Persian philosophy. Farsi is Persian. That's why he is also known as Dr. Muhammad Iqbal. Allama Iqbal was born in Sialkot. When was he born? He was born on 9th November 1877. Sialkot is a town in Punjab. He received his early education from Sialkot, and in 1895 he went to Government College Lahore, and in 1899 he passed his MA from there. He passed his MA from the University of Punjab, and in the same year, in 1899, he was appointed Professor of Arabic at Oriental College, Lahore. He held this job till 1905. In that year, he left for England for higher studies. In 1905, he left his job and left for England for higher studies. He went to Germany. In London, he received a law degree. London से law degree ली और from Germany. In 1908, he was awarded a degree of PhD from Munich University for his work on Persian philosophy. That is why he is also known as Dr. Muhammad Iqbal. And because of that uh, PhD degree, doctorate degree in Persian philosophy is called a doctor. ठीक है? Is there any difficulty in this paragraph? Should we read the second one? Thank you so much, Khadija. Thank you. How do you know? Thank you, Khadija. Achha. Sahi. Thanks a lot. This means a lot. अच्छा भाई, थैंक यू सो मच। अल्लाह आपको खुश रखे। मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द next one. Thank you, Sundus. Next paragraph. Um, अलामा इकबाल is generally known as a poet, great poet. मतलब हम अलामा इकबाल को याद करते हैं generally, usually as a great poet. He was no doubt a great poet, but poetry was one of his many of one only one of his many achievements. मतलब he had done so much in his life. He had achieved so much. Okay, poetry is considered just one of his many accomplishments. He was well versed in philosophy, both Eastern and Western. He pointed out the defects in some of the philosophical systems in the West. He devoted a great part of his life to the study of Islam. इस्लाम की तालीम के लिए भी इन्होंने अपनी लाइफ का बेशतर हिस्सा जो है डिवोट कर दिया था. He also took an active part in politics. He worked for the Muslims of South Asia with great courage. He was elected a member of the Punjab Legislative Council in 1926 and held that office till 1929. He did not seek re-election. He was elected president of the Punjab branch of the All India Muslim League and held that position till his death. In 1930, he presided over the Allahabad meeting of the All India Muslim League. It was on this historic occasion that he made a definite demand for a separate Muslim state in South Asia. In his presidential address, Dr. Iqbal said, India is a continent of human groups belonging to different races, speaking different languages, and believing in different religions. Regions. Sorry, religions. I was correct. Their behavior is not governed by a common race feeling. These groups are all separate nations. The principle of European democracy cannot be applied to India without recognizing the fact of different groups. The Muslim demand to create a Muslim India within India is in no way without justice. Anusha Zafar and Batul Munir have joined us. Okay. For my part, I would like to go on one step one step forward. I would like to see the Punjab North-West Frontier Province, Sindh and Balochistan united under a single Muslim state. The Muslims are anxious to have a separate state because they fear the Hindu majority, which they believe will not allow Muslims to develop freely. This demand shocked both the Hindus and the British alike. They both opposed it. Achha, now what happened? What have Alishba? Thank you. Thank you, Alishba. What have we been told in this paragraph? We've been told that Allama Iqbal was not only a great poet, but he was also a great politician. He was chosen to be the president of Punjab branch of All India Muslim League. पहले होती थी सिर्फ कांग्रेस जो होती थी that only spoke in favor of Hindus. Or Congress में they had both Hindu and Muslim leaders working for that party. But after some time, Muslim leaders, Muslim politicians, they started having this feeling that Hindu majority will not let Muslims live in peace in India, and they will are only working in interest of Hindus of the subcontinent. So they developed their separate party and named it as the All India Muslim League. ठीक है ना. कायदे आजम सैयद अली खान, लियाकत अली खान, जौहर ब्रदर्स, ये सारी के सारे जो भी हैं, लामा इकबाल, ऑल द मुस्लिम लीडर्स, दे जॉइंड दैट पार्टी एंड लेफ्ट कांग्रेस. कांग्रेस क्यों छोड़ी? बिकॉज दे हैड दैट फीलिंग, दे हैड you know, sensed okay, Indian Muslims, they will only, Indian Muslims will only be, you know, overpowered by Hindus once the freedom is achieved. And the Hindus, they will not let them develop freely, they will not let them live freely. And this is what is happening in India these days. They don't let Muslims and other minorities live peacefully in India. So, sensing it back then, Muslim leaders they demanded for a separate Muslim state. Or in 1930, the first time in the history, Lama Iqbal he put forward a definite demand for a separate Muslim land for the Muslims of subcontinent. And this demand it shocked the Hindus and the British. Okay, that was the first time a demand like this for the Muslims of subcontinent put forward. That was the first time that it happened. And Allama Iqbali also, you know, also told which provinces he believed were to be added in the Pakistan. The name was not chosen at that time, obviously, but the provinces were decided by Allama Iqbal. He said that Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab, and NWFP, which is the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa of these times, Allama Iqbal said that these were to be added into, were to be separated from India and you know converted into a separate Muslim land. Beta, please join the class in time because when I keep adding you people in the middle of my lecture, it distracts me and I sometimes I forget what I'm to tell you people, and other times it's like I forget what I'm about to say. The things they keep erasing from my mind, and I can't figure out what to say. I can't, you know, put what I have in mind in words because I'm at the same time I'm adding children. Okay, moving towards the third paragraph. Mahalich has admitted the class. Let's approve her request. We'll read the third paragraph first and then I'll let you know one thing which is very important. Remind me of this after this paragraph so that I don't forget it. This was the first time that a demand was made for a separate Indian Muslim state. Dr. Iqbal did not stop at this. All his efforts were now directed towards the achievement of this goal. In May 1937, Dr. Iqbal wrote a letter to the Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. In this letter, he discussed in detail the problems of the Indian Muslims. He once again advised that only the creation of a separate Muslim state could solve these problems and said to the Qaid, "Don't you think that the time for such a demand has already arrived?" On 21st June 1937, he again wrote to the Qaid-e-Azam, a separate federal state of for Muslim provinces formed on the lines I have proposed is the only way by which we can have a peaceful India and save Muslims from the rule of non-Muslims. Allama Iqbal wrote twice to Qaid-e-Azam. He first asked him to he asked him if the time to put forward a demand for a separate country has come. In the first letter, he asked this. And he also discussed the problems um, faced by the Muslims of the subcontinent in detail. And in the second letter, he asked him to, you know, to ask for a separate federal state of Muslim provinces. He asked him to, you know, start asking for it, start working on the demand. Is this paragraph clear? Is everything clear that I've just explained? And the thing that I wanted to tell you was that in the next um, week, we will have reinforcement classes. In the reinforcement classes, the lessons that will be taught to you are the daffodils. I'll explain it again and I'll give you the written work of daffodils and Alama Iqbal, and I'll give you the written work of Alama Iqbal. And because we have already studied these lessons thoroughly, I'll just give one day to one lecture. And I'll also explain you Helen Keller. But because the written work of Helen Keller has already been done, I'll give you the work of daffodils on the day we study Helen Keller. ठीक है? Plus on Tuesday you will have your quiz क्योंकि the assignment of quiz is given on Monday and you're not left with much time. So I decided to inform you beforehand. और अभी से मैं आपको बता रही हूँ कि next week your quiz will be from the second lesson which is Shah Abdul Latif. ठीक है? In reinforcement classes, I'll not only explain you the lesson, will not only read it again, but I'll also ask you questions from the lesson in the lecture, during the lecture. और आप लोगों को you have to prepare the lecture in such a way कि आप उसके one word question answers के लिए you people remain prepared. Daffodils के लिए तो it is very easy for you क्योंकि questions are already given in the exercise. ठीक है? Questions are already given in the exercise in daffodils. बाकी जो आपका बचेगा हेलन केलर, वो आप एक दफ़ा if you go through it, so you will know all the important details, all the important stuff, जिससे मैं आप लोगों के question answers बना लूँ, तो it will also be easy for you to do that. Okay, now we'll study the last paragraph. First, we'll study the fourth paragraph, the difficult words. These are actually phrases. Most of them are phrases. Only resolution is a word. The difficult phrases, idiomatic phrases from the second last paragraphs are, the first one is wake from sleep. To wake from sleep means to ignite or to inflame something. गहरी नींद से बेदार करना या passion को बेदार करना. Next is as a result of, which means eventually, natijatan. The third one is turn over a new leaf. That means to change one's behavior, and that usually means in a positive way. Fourth one is resolution, which means settlement or solution. In Urdu, it is called Qarardat. Next is to put heart and soul in something. That means to do something with one's maximum efforts and passion. पूरी कोशिश के साथ जान दिनों जान लगा के कोई काम करना is to put heart and soul in something. Next is to play major part. When you play major part, it means you play a significant role, you play an important role. Next is the darkest moment. The darkest moment is the worst time. Battareen waqt, battareen lamhat are the darkest times, the darkest moment. And the last one is to stand like a rock, which means to stand firmly, exceptionally stable, sturdy and reliable. उम्मीद से ज़्यादा एक stable होना, to you know to live through difficulties, to persevere through obstacles, that is to stand like a rock, to stand firm footed. ठीक है? Fourth paragraph is, the Muslims awoke from their deep sleep as a result of Iqbal's efforts. अल्लामा इकबाल की efforts के नतीजे में मुस्लिम अपनी ख्वाब गफलत से जागे. They turned over a new leaf and they changed themselves. They started putting actual efforts in the achievement of separate motherland for themselves. Now they all wanted a separate Muslim state. The Muslim League represented representing the whole of Muslim India met in Lahore and passed a resolution on 23rd March 1940 demanding a separate state for the Muslims of India. क्या हुआ when most of the Muslims they were awoke from their deep sleep, they started demanding for a separate Muslim land. और All India Muslim League, which was representing the Muslims of the subcontinent. It met in a gathering in Mantu Park on 23rd March 1940, and they demanded for a separate state. And they passed a resolution which is called Pakistan Resolution, and this day is called Pakistan Day because that was the first time officially a demand for a separate Muslim country was put forward. उससे पहले Muslims, they had left hope. They were in a rebellious state. They had said कि ये ना इंग्लिश तालीम हासिल करेंगे, ना वो हिंदू मुसलमान हिंदू अंग्रेज़ों के लिए कोई जॉब करेंगे. They will not work for English people. They will not um, study the British education, and they were just living a hopeless life. फिर Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, he provoked Muslims to achieve education at least, क्योंकि he thought कि unless they achieve education and they stand side, they stand shoulder to shoulder एक level पे at one stage, अगर खड़े नहीं होंगे हिंदुओं के साथ और ब्रिटिश के साथ, तो उनकी वो ये उनसे मुकाबला भी नहीं कर सकते. And that he was true. Anyway, from this time onwards, the Muslims never looked back. और उस resolution 1940 के resolution पास होने के बाद से they never looked back. There was actually no turning back. क्योंकि उन्होंने डिमांड मांग ली थी, and they had showed that they are united, that they are strong, and their demand is also just. They put their heart and soul into the struggle for Pakistan. They succeeded in their struggle on 14th August 1947. 7 years after that day, they succeeded in achieving their separate homeland. Pakistan appeared on the map of the world, and I hope that it remains there for the rest of our lives, for the rest of the times until the day of judgment. I just want it to be there. एंड आई प्रे टू गॉड कि अल्लाह ताला इसको हमेशा कायम व दायम रखे और हमेशा ये दुनिया के नक्शे पे वाजे रहे एज अ सेपरेट इंडिपेंडेंट पावरफुल कंट्री. Iqbal died in 1938. Allama Iqbal, although he died before even the resolution was passed and could not see the actual creation of Pakistan, but he had played a major role, a major part in its creation. Although Allama Iqbal died before 1940 and 1947, जब दो major milestone achieve किए Muslims of the subcontinent ने, but he was the one who played the major part. He was the one who played the important role in waking the Muslims from their sleep, in igniting their passion, in inflaming their their enthusiasm. And we cannot deny it. There is no denying from the fact that Allama Iqbal was the one who showed the right path to the Muslims of the subcontinent, who showed them the path towards independence, towards freedom. अब on his death, Allama Iqbal's death, Quaid-e-Azam ने उनको praise किया. Quaid-e-Azam praised Iqbal's role in a message on his death. What did he say? He said, "To me, he was a friend, a guide, and a philosopher, and during the darkest moments through which the Muslim League had to go, he stood like a rock." Obviously, when the party established, शुरू के establishment के शुरू के जो years होते हैं, शुरू का जो time होता है, that is all always difficult. Whenever you start something big, the beginning is always difficult. It is the most, it is the darkest time. और वही time था when Quaid-e-Azam admitted that Allama Iqbal stood like a frog, and he was like a guide, a philosopher, and a friend to Quaid-e-Azam. Anyway, is this paragraph clear? Should we move towards the last one? If you haven't given me your attendance, please give it to me. Please let me know if there is any difficulty or if we should move towards the last paragraph. Okay, so the difficult words from the last paragraphs are apart from. First one is apart from, that which means with the exception of, besides. Second is majority, that means the greater number or part, a number more than half of the total. If a number is more than half of the total, it means it is majority. Then we have prose, it's ordinary speech or writing without मेट्रिकल स्ट्रक्चर विच मीन्स नसर, उर्दू में नसर होती है, इंग्लिश में प्रोज होती है, उर्दू में इंग्लिश में पोइट्री होती है, उर्दू में नज़म होती है, शायरी होती है, ठीक है. टू रिफ्लेक्ट मीन्स टू मेक अपेरेंट, एक्सप्रेस और मैनिफेस्ट. डिस्ट्रक्शन इज द एक्ट और प्रोसेस ऑफ डिस्ट्रॉइंग. तबाही, तबाही का एक्ट और तबाही का मरहला इज डिस्ट्रक्शन. Okay, he believed that faith in Islam made the Indian Muslims one nation, separate and apart from the Hindus. He strongly believed that in a united India, Muslims could not develop freely. He had a great love for Islam and was completely devoted to it. Both his prose and poetry reflected this devotion. He always advised Muslims to remain true to their faith. In his Allahabad address, he said, I have learned one lesson from the history of Muslims at difficult moments in their history. It is Islam that has saved Muslims and not Muslims that have saved Islam. If today you put your faith in Islam, you will become strong and united once again and save yourselves from complete destruction. This was the reading. Now let's understand it. He believed that faith in Islam made the Indian Muslims one nation, separate and apart from the Hindus. अब अलामा इकबाल का मानना क्या था? What was his faith? कि मुस्लिम्स का जो faith है in Islam, in Allah Almighty, it is the one thing that has made Indian Muslims one nation. उनको एक अलग कौम बनाया है, एक मुत्तहिद कौम बनाया है, और वो कौम जो सेपरेट है और मुख्तलिफ है अपार्ट फ्रॉम द हिंदूज, जो मुख्तलिफ है हिंदू से. ही स्ट्रांगली बिलीव्ड, बेहद भरपूर भरोसा था उनका, that in a united India where the Hindus majority would rule the country, कि यूनाइटेड इंडिया में, सब कॉन्टिनेंट में जहां हिंदू मेजॉरिटी रूल करेगी कंट्री को, तो मुस्लिम्स कुड नॉट डेवलप फ्रीली. मुस्लिम्स को आज़ादी नहीं होगी डेवलप होने की, बढ़ने की, फूलने की, रहने की, किसी भी तरह की इंडिपेंडेंस उन्हें नहीं होगी. एंड ही वाज एक्चुअली ट्रू. वी कैन सी दिस हैपनिंग इन इंडिया नाउ. This is what is happening in India. They are not independent to perform their religious, you know, religious, क्या हम कहेंगे उसको, this word it just slipped out of my mind. जो भी उनके religious acts हैं, they are not, free to perform them. They cannot do what they want to do religiously. और ये सारे के सारे जो minor sects हैं, सारे के सारे minor minorities हैं, उन सबके साथ, religions के साथ इंडिया में this is happening. Even Sikhs are not happy in India. They want their separate country. Anyway, he had a great love for Islam and was completely devoted to it. Besides being a great politician, he was a very religious person, and he had great love for Islam and he had great love for Allah Almighty, and he had completely devoted himself into Islam. And both his prose and poetry reflects this devotion. And उनकी पोइट्री में और उनकी नज़म में और उनकी नसर में इस ये आंसर है, इस्लाम का आंसर है. एंड यू कैन feel that he is a religious person by reading his poetry and his prose. He always advised Muslims to remain true to their faith. और हमेशा से he advised Muslims of the subcontinent to remain true to their faith, to stick to the faith, to stick to their belief, to stick to their religion. In his Allahabad address, his Allahabad ka address that he addressed in 1930, being the president of Punjab branch of All India Muslim League, he he delivered an address. And in that address, not only he demanded for the separate motherland for the Muslims of subcontinent, but also demanded for, but also asked the Muslims to stay united under the flag of Islam, to stick to their religion, to have complete, entire faith in Islam. And he also said that I have learned one lesson from the history of Muslims. At difficult moments in their history, it was Islam that had saved Muslims and not Muslims who have saved Islam. उन्होंने कहा कि मुसलमानों को की हिस्ट्री से मैंने एक सबक सीखा है, वो ये कि मुश्किल दौर में हमेशा इस्लाम ने मुसलमानों की हिफाजत की है, मुसलमानों ने इस्लाम की हिफाजत नहीं की है. एंड ही आल्सो सेड कि इफ टुडे यू पुट योर फेथ इन इस्लाम, you will become strong and united once again and save yourselves from complete destruction. कि आज yet again अगर being Muslim आप अपना पूरा का पूरा faith इस्लाम पे लेके आ जाओगे and you'll have faith in Allah Almighty and Islam, so or you become strong and united once again and save yourselves from complete destruction. और यही एक तरीका है दोबारा से united और strong होने का और खुद को complete destruction से बचाने का. This is what Allama Iqbal said in his Allahabad address, and this is what he believed in as true Muslim. He asked the Muslims to have complete faith in Islam. He asked them to become united and strong. And no one can harm you once you're united. This is what we should know. We should believe in. Unity is strength, and there is no denying from this fact. Plus, Allama Iqbal, he gave us the lesson of having complete faith in Allah. And not only it applies to the Muslims of the subcontinent and the Muslims in history. It applies to the Muslims of this time also. Abhi bhi will have complete faith in Allah Almighty and His plannings. So we can have a peaceful life, plus we can have a successful life. क्योंकि जब हम अल्लाह पे भरोसा करते हैं, लेकिन it's not just about having complete faith in Allah. अल्लाह पे भरोसा करने का एक मतलब ये भी है कि हम उसकी तालीमात के मुताबिक अपनी भी जद्दोजहद जारी रखें. परिंदे को भी दरख्त पे बैठ के खाना नहीं मिलता. He has to leave his nest and he has to look for food. सिमिलरली इंसानों को भी अपनी तरफ से पूरी की पूरी कोशिश करके ही अल्लाह ताला से मांगना है. अब कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती हैं जिसमें अल्लाह ताला ही कर सकता है सब कुछ, जो भी कर सकता है. ठीक है ना. कुछ सिचुएशंस नो डाउट ऐसी होती हैं जिसमें अल्लाह ऑलमाइटी इज द ओनली वन हु कैन चेंज द सिचुएशन. तो उनमें हमें पूरा भरोसा अल्लाह ताला पर रखना है. पर देयर आर थिंग्स व्हिच नीड आवर एफर्ट्स, व्हिच रिक्वायर आवर एफर्ट्स. उसमें हमें अपनी एफर्ट्स भी पुट करनी है और फिर पूरा भरोसा रखना है कि अल्लाह ताला कामयाबी से हम किनार करेगा. ठीक है. प्लस कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती हैं जिसमें हम अल्लाह पे भी पूरा भरोसा रखते हैं और हम अपनी भी पूरी मेहनत करते हैं, फिर भी हमें वो चीज़ नहीं मिलती. दैट मीन्स कि वो हमारे हक में बेहतर नहीं थी, कहीं ना कहीं आगे जाके वो हमें नुकसान पहुंचाती. दैट्स व्हाई अल्लाह ऑलमाइटी kept us safe from that thing and did not bless us with that. उसके बदले में हमें ज़रूर नेकी मिल जाएगी जो आखिरत में हमारे काम आएगी. and that will be given to us in hereafter, and that will protect us from the fire of जहन्नम इन हेयर आफ्टर. हमारा इस पे भी पूरा भरोसा होना चाहिए. यानी कि हर सिचुएशन में वी विल शुड हैव अ कंप्लीट faith in Allah. We should have a कामिल भरोसा in Allah ताला, a complete faith जिसमें हम जरा भी हमारा भरोसा लड़खड़ाए नहीं, हमारे कदम ना लड़खड़ाए. ऐसा भरोसा हमें अगर अल्लाह ताला पे होगा तो एक तो लाइफ विल बी पीसफुल, दूसरा हमें विल बी ब्लेस्ड विद द बेस्ट ऑफ एवरीथिंग. वी विल हैव द बेस्ट ऑफ बोथ वर्ल्ड्स, the hereafter and this material world, this mortal world. ठीक है ना. अच्छा, if there is anything that confuses you from the entire lesson, please let me know. If you haven't given me your attendance yet, please give me your attendance. Is it it? Don't you have any questions? Okay, this is the end of today's meeting. We will meet on Monday, inshallah ta'ala. We will have the reinforcement class of daffodils. So come prepared. And on Tuesday, we have our test. And there is one more thing that I want to tell you. Why don't you people maintain your indices? Maintain your indices according to the assignments given. Assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, like just like that. Okay? So make sure that your work is neat and clean and your indices are properly maintained. This is it of today's lecture. We'll meet next week. Until then, you people take care of yourselves and not to forget the animals for sacrifice have arrived and you people must be mingling with them. You must be staying with them. You must be spending your time with them. But don't forget to wash your hands every time you touch your animal and don't forget to keep maintain distance from them because obviously they are not clean. You don't wash them every day. You don't wash the area where they shit and you know this is reality and I should tell you this being your mother, being your spiritual mother, I should let you know tell you this too. कि वो animals they are not clean and the area around them is also not clean, so try to have put on gloves and masks before going near them and touching them, and when you come back home wash yourselves completely, entirely and thoroughly, and take good care of yourselves because you people are very precious to your parents and to us obviously because you are our children, spiritual children. And this is it. I hope that you'll you know note my words and you'll do what I've told you to. And Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz everyone.